Okay, we'll begin shortly. Just a short announcement. I know there was a lot of activity, alhamdulillah, on Slido. Some of you guys who are more old-fashioned, I have index cards and pen here as well, both on the brothers and sisters side. So if you have any questions, write them down. You can pass them forward after the program, and we can also go through them as well. Let's wait 30 seconds. So make sure. Okay. After the program, I think for the maybe 3 minutes, 4 minutes, we'll have the brothers from CARE also do a quick presentation. They're doing one upstairs, and they want to speak a little bit to the younger folks here. Because there were some discussions that came up last night, and they have a workshop when it comes to both for parents and for students who are going in, high school, middle school, and the interaction that you may be having with some of your, students, peers at school. So they may do something in the future, but they'll discuss kind of the services that they offer. All right, let's begin with the loud salawat. Allahumma salli. So I said a loud salawat. That's better. Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Let's begin with the recitation of the Quran. Brother Ahmed. Salawat.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم تبت يدا أبي لهب وتب ما أغنى عنه ماله وما كسب سيصلى نارا ذات لهب وامرأته حمالة الحطب في جيدها حبل من مسد. May the hands of Abu Lahab perish, and may he himself perish. Neither his wealth nor his worldly gains will benefit him. He will burn in a flaming fire, and so will his wife, the carrier of thorny kindling. Around her neck will be a rope of palm fiber. Salawat.
Again, for those of you who want to recite either the Quran or poetry, please make sure you give me your names. Alhamdulillah, we have a few new additions today and tomorrow as well. Also, for those of you who are interested in volunteering for the Jaluz, both in distribution of material, but also if you want to do poetry as well, we do have a sign-up sheet. It's first come, first served. There is a limit because there's only so many people we can fit on the, during the time slot. So make sure if you're interested, either it could be poetry or it could also be a small, talk as well, in English, of course. Make sure you can email me, or you can just come after the program and give your names. Is Ali's here? Okay. So let's share salawat. There was another announcement I wanted to make real quick. Let's see if I can. Let us salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. And I'll now like to invite Brother Ali Naqvi for Mercia tonight. Salawat.
Salawat. Baqar bardo Shah-E azmat na hote Baqar bardo Shah-E azmat na hote शऊर फ़िक्र को दावत न होती शऊर फ़िक्र کو دعوت نہ ہوتی، او علی پیدا نہ ہوتے گر حرم میں، او حرم ہوتا مگر حرمت نہ ہوتے، بقا بردوش صلوات. سورہ فاتحہ. دشمن کو بھی خدا نہ دکھائے پسر کا داغ، دل کو فگار کرتا ہے نور نظر کا داغ، آنکھوں کا نور کھوتا ہے نور بصر کا داغ، مرنا جوان بیٹے کا ہے عمر بھر کا داغ، مرنا جوان بیٹے کا ہے عمر بھر کا داغ، یہ حال ابن فاطمہ کے دل سے پوچھئے، زخم جگر کے درد کو غائل سے پوچھئے، جب برچی کھا کے گم ہوا اکبر سانو نہال، فرزند فاطمہ کا کہوں کہ زبان سے حال، لرزاتا جسم میں پاک میں خورشید کی مثال، چلاتے تھے شہید ہوا ہائے میرا لال، تھامے ہوئے کلیج کو گھبرائے پھرتے تھے، ایک ایک قدم پاتھو کر کھا کھا کے گرتے تھے، آنکھوں میں اشک لپا فغاں اور دل میں دار، ہاتھوں میں راشا چہرہ ہے اقدس کا رنگ زار، صدمے سے ہاتھ پاؤں کبھی گرم گاہ سر، مثل کما کمیدہ مگر گیسوؤں پگر، دیکھی جو کوئی لاش تو گھبرا کے گر پڑے، جلدی کبھی چینے کبھی گش کھا کے گر پڑے، ہر دم پکارتے تھے کہ اکبر کدھر گئے، اے نور چشم بانوئے بے پر کدھر گئے، مرتا ہے باپ اے میرے دل بر کدھر گئے، آواز دو شبیہ پیامبر کدھر گئے، آواز دو شبیہ پیامبر کدھر گئے، اے میرے شہر کیا کسی جنگل میں چھپ گئے، اے میرے چاند کیا کسی بادل میں چھپ گئے، دشمن کو بھی خدا نہ صلوات.
MashaAllah, thank you. Another Rizal salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So again, for those of you who came a little bit late, there is a Q&A session tonight after the program. There's two ways of interacting, maybe three. we'll start with two. One is your questions if you already sent them over through Slido. Those will be, again, Mulana has already seen those. And also if you have not and you would rather submit your questions to the index cards here, you can do that as well. There are cards on the sister side. If you want to distribute the pens and the card, you can do that, and also on the brother side as well. You guys have any questions? Well, if you have questions, you can pick up the index cards now. Okay. And then after the session, there'll be a program. After the session, there'll be Q&A, but also, just before that, the brothers from CARE are here as well, and they may do a short presentation about, why they're here, what they represent, and then future programs that they may be doing at the center as well. Today's the eighth night of the series for Muharram, and I wanted to kind of recap a little bit, not a recap, I wouldn't even say a recap, I just wanted to kind of talk about, these 8 nights so far, the series, the lectures entitled, finding yourself through the lens of Karbala, Hujjatul Syed, Raza, Baqar, Rizvi, right? I have to make sure I have the order of his name correct. Use these nights to kind of shed light on contemporary issues, oftentimes not presented on the member in particular, especially ones that we may be engaged with or going through today. These lectures are a reminder, they are a reminder of finding our true purpose, because oftentimes we get entangled in the rat race and we forget, why Allah created us, what is our purpose, why are we here on earth, and what it means to be God conscious. For those of you who aren't aware, after finishing his medical degree, Maulana pursued his studies in Islamic education at the esteemed seminaries of His specialization is in Islamic philosophy, theology, and Islamic jurisprudence. He has been studying in Qom for the past 10 years, and that's where he resides as well. Again, after tonight, there'll be a Q&A session with the Maulana. So now I request Hujjatul Syed, Raza Baqar Rizvi, to address tonight's majalis. Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Let's hear another salawat, please.
Please recite salawat. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين أما بعد فقد قال الحسين ابن علي عليه السلام ماذا وجد من فقدك ومن الذي فقد من وجدك صلوات. We start with praising the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who gave us this opportunity again to sit down and talk about the greatest personality in the history of Shahada in Islam. That's why he's called Sayyid al-Shuhada, right? And the Shahada of Imam Hussein, I was listening to one Maulana, he said the Bima. It's like insurance for the Islam, and he was absolutely right. Means that whatever has happened before in the different religions, inshallah, is not going to happen to Islam, just because Imam sacrificed his life, and not just sacrificed by just giving his life and blood, but before he gave his blood, he made this proof and made this set in stone that Islam is not going to be changed. That is the path of all the Anbiya, the Tawhidi path, which started from Hazrat Adam and is still continuing down there, is going to keep going there till the end of times or beyond that. we'll talk about end of time and barzakh and qiyamah later on. Not in this series, inshallah. It'll become really heavy here. So what does it mean that it's gonna continue, and this wahdaniyat and the mawahidi lifestyle, or lifestyle of a mawahid, is gonna continue there? What did Imam do in Karbala? That is the point why we gathered here. That is the thing I started my, lecture series from here. That we started from the purpose of Karbala, which Imam said to us that I'm going out to do what? Islah ummati jaddi. Like my prophets, my grandfather's ummah is in a turmoil. Why? Are we losing battles? Were we losing battles? Or the economic situation of Muslim bilad, or the cities of Muslims, was bad? No. If you go to the history, you see that in the time of Amir al-Sham and Yazid, they were still conquering lands, and the Islamic land was increasing. But here Imam, talking to the, like we discussed in the beginning of our lectures, to the ulama of ummah, and saying that there's something really bad going on and you are not doing anything. So that's why we need to know, when we know that what Imam Hussein diagnosed, then we would know that what did he do and from which thing he saved us. So the point we took and we were trying to explain and actually kind of expand on that was that there were some radical problems in the ummah which had to be clarified and cleaned and preached. And we came to the result, to the natija, to whatever we discussed till now, is this, that the radical problem was the society was not God-centric anymore. It went back to the polytheism. There was no monotheism in Islamic society. I don't want to repeat myself. I explained this, that it doesn't mean that there were not masajid. It doesn't mean that the Hajj was not happening. Everything was happening. But in the mindset of Muslims, they were polytheists. They were believing in different things. According to what we discussed, what Imam was saying, they were more concerned about their culture and the culture of their forefathers than Islam. So inshallah, we are going to expand from that, and a brother gave an explanation, and the Slido is there to know that, alhamdulillah, I got some comments, I got questions, but please feel free. I know that your fingers are kind of like automatically work on these things, right? On these gadgets, they just like go like this. So you can write any question related to the topic though. Not about the, Please recite a salawat. It's not to see that how popular my majalis are. First of all, they are not my majalis. Second of all, I don't want to see if it's popular or not. But like one of my dear brothers said, the last majlis was kind of really dry. And I knew that. I can kind of see from the faces that it was dry. But I want a feedback from you brothers, like the brother said right now. Or question, if something was mubham, was not explained well, you can actually ask this question that Maulana repeat this. That one brother was there and he said, like, just translate this ayah again for me. That was good. We cannot go back and forth that much in the majlis setting because it's difficult. But if you are like kind of stuck somewhere, we can repeat it and go forward. So, the smoothness of the discussion would be there, right? So we left you with this ayah of Quran, Surah Hashr, ayah number 19. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم نسوا الله فأنساهم أنفسهم. Like if you forget Allah, natijatan, the conclusion of it, automatically, not because of the azab of Allah, not because Allah Ta'ala sent down some angels and give azab. The consequence of forgetting Allah is this, that you're going to forget yourself. And here we are standing, that we, the human beings, have forgot their position, their status in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's why we are here, to knowing ourselves, our status in front of Allah. And in front of Allah means, like, when it's in front of Allah, it's not like this, that in front of Allah like in masjid only. In front of Allah in the wujudi sense. Now, you'll say, Maulana, you started the dry topic again. Today would be a little bit dry as well. Have some water like me. Put some water to make it a little bit better. Please recite salawat. But I hope, inshallah, it wouldn't be that dry as it was yesterday. So I said that through that we are going to discuss about wujud, right? Existence. And I just said few things there, and then the time of majlis was done. So what existence is, right? Just to repeat what I said at the end of the last majlis, that anything, like in this room, anything which is present is a wujud. Member, mic, my tablet, myself, yourself, carpet, roof, light, everything has a wujud, right? Because we can see it, we can feel it, we can touch it, right? This wujud is in a system. What system is that? There's a system of cause and effect. Right? I said this yesterday, but inshallah repeating it again. The cause of this mic is that somebody made it. So he's the cause of this mic. The cause of what I'm talking right now is me. The effect is the voice which is coming from my mouth is the effect of it. Right? So the system of wujud or existence follow the system of cause and effect. Now, we take the camera a little bit out and see, like zoom out and see, when we see ourselves as an insan, as a person, I am the effect of what? My parents. They are the effect of what? Their parents. Going back, and their grandparents and grandparents and grandparents end up in what? Hazrat Adam. Right? The first human being Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created from the clay, according to Quran, was Hazrat Adam, the Prophet Adam. Or Adam, if nobody understands this, Adam, right, in English. So who is the cause of this first effect, right? Let's say we are talking about just this specific lineage of human beings. Who is the cause of this effect? The cause which made Hazrat Adam. Can anybody tell me that? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, mashallah, right? Who is the cause of Allah? Nobody. You are saying it because your father said this to you, right? Can you prove it to me? Yes. We are trying to prove this in this majlis a little bit. Please recite the salawat again. So imagine, inshallah, we are not kafir. Imagine there is another cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, na'udhu billah, and he is the effect of that cause. So the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would have another cause as well, right? And it goes all the way to infinity. And that is not possible. Why? Because all the existences are present here. If there was a cause which is in infinity and there was no effect of that cause, we wouldn't have any existences here. Like giving in an example, right? There are 10 people in a room, and you said these 10 people are in the room, but the sequence of them entering a room was like this, that Mr. A came first, and because of that, Mr. B came first, and then Mr. C came after that, right? Mr. A came first, Mr. B came second, and then so on and so forth, till 10 people. Now I see that's the sequence, that one person came and brought the other person with him, and then we have 10 people in a room. If I see that there are 10 people in the room, definitely Mr. A should have come first and brought the others. Right? So when I see that people or the effects or the existences are present, or these people are present in a room, there should be one ultimate cause of it, who is not the effect of anyone, and he is the ultimate cause. In this instance, Mr. A. Why? Because if Mr. A wouldn't be there, the other 9 people wouldn't be there either. If you got the point, please recite salawat. If you didn't get the point, please recite a louder salawat. No, that's good, mashallah. Well, it'll be difficult to understand here, but just take it like this, and inshallah probably we'll be able to discuss it in Q&A. The point I'm trying to make is this, that all the causes, all the effects have an ultimate cause, and that is known as wajibul wujud, or prime existence, or primary existence. We are all mumkinul wujud. What's mumkinul wujud? I'm trying to explain wajib and mumkin here. Mumkin is this, that there was a chance that I was born and survived. 43 years ago, I didn't exist. At that time, it was a chance that I would exist. Just like my grandson. Right now, he doesn't exist. Or granddaughter, she doesn't exist, but she might in future. Right? So any wujud which is in middle of existence and non-existence is known as mumkinul wujud. While this system of cause and effect cannot be governed by a wujud which has chance of existence or non-existence. You get the point? Bismillah, brother, say no. Oh, you got the point? MashaAllah. Please recite salawat for brother. You're my test here. If you understand it, inshallah, everybody is understanding it. Please recite another salawat. The necessity of a necessary being, wajibul wujud is necessary being, that's how they translate it, is this, that if the necessary being is not necessary and mumkinul wujud, then we wouldn't have any existences. Right? Right or wrong? If wajibul wujud wouldn't be there and he would be mumkinul wujud, it means that he might existed or not existed. But we see that we have different effects here. So he existed all the time. So that's why he is a necessary being. Now, why am I saying that? Is this that in this wujudi system, brothers and sisters, and again, that's why I said like we have to know ourselves, because knowing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and those mabahith are really difficult. I do exist, right? If you didn't take this, what I explained so far, inshallah we can discuss it later, or just take it as a, right now as a musta'ar, as a loan, and then inshallah we'll build something on that. So we believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is wajibul wujud, the necessary being. If he wouldn't be there, he wouldn't have created anyone else. Right? There wouldn't be any creation. There wouldn't be any creature in this world, in this universe. So what does it mean? It means that I exist just because of him. So when I say knowing oneself, is this that I am nothing but the mere effect of a necessary being. And that's the relationship I have with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should be center of my life. That's why I have to have a God-centric society. That's why Imam Hussein came out of Medina and went to Karbala. So we don't forget about that. So we built our society around Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His wujud. Please recite salawat. To explain it, well, that's not an example, but it's an analogy of Plato. So you brothers are so, mashallah, intellectually on high level. You're studying Plato right now. You know who was Plato? Not the Play-Doh, the Plato. You know who was Plato? Who was he? A prophet? Who was it? Ahsan. He's a Greek philosopher. And when we studied a lot about him, brothers and sisters, it looks like his theories and all of them, the Aristotle, Plato, Socrates, they were intelligent people. And I'll give you a story and a hadith because after a big dose of wajib and mumkin, I have to go a little bit, leaning on you. Please recite salawat. So remember we discussed about the hadith about aql and how important aql is, that if you don't have aql, you don't have deen. That's what Rasulullah is saying. This is what religion is, brothers and sisters, especially the religion of Islam. We respect intellect. We respect intellectual dialogue. Why? Because by that we can go somewhere. Right? So, at the end of time of Rasulullah's, like close to his demise, he sent an army towards Rome. Like Rome at that time is like a Syria of this time, the eastern part of Rome. So Amr As, who was the wazir of Amir Sham, he came back and he started mocking these people. Rasulullah asked that you went there, how do you find these people? He started mocking these philosophers and thinkers of West, right? Greek thinkers. They Plato and Aristotle. Rasulullah said, no, don't mock them. They were the hukama of their ummah. One question I got was about pluralism. Respecting other religions, giving them room, talking to them, that's not pluralism, that's Islam. Pluralism is that I don't believe in any of this. I gave this answer in the Slido. But when I say pluralism, although when they say pluralism, and if you go and you search it, it says only it's just like a theory of coexistence, right? That I'm living in a society and there are different cultures and religions and we coexist together. That's what pluralism is. No. In their essence, they think that these things don't matter. You can believe in God, you can believe in Bhagwan, you can believe in 3 gods, you can believe in 2 gods, multiple gods, or 1 God. It doesn't matter. As long as you are paying your taxes and stopping on a stop sign, you're all good, right? So, this Plato gave, which we have to respect according to the hadith of Rasulullah. We have to respect. Well, there's another hadith of Imam Jafria Sadiq alayhi salam, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad, where he called them as a prophet of their ummah. These thinkers, these philosophers were called they were introduced as prophets, and they could be prophets, right? Just like, we had a prophet, right, in Christianity. The people made him the son of God. So when you see these photos of these Plato and Socrates, don't think that, oh my God, how come these prophets are, wearing these things and whatever. Because this is a depiction of people. People do these weird things. Whatever they think, they just make that, image of that. So they could be prophets. So whatever they say and their theories have weight, right? Because whatever their theory is supported by or actually given by Allah to them. Now I give this analogy and you tell me that how close it to our discussion and our beliefs. Please recite salawat. So this analogy is known as Plato's cave. You can Google it and read about it. I'll try to explain it without a diagram. So just go with your imaginations. So you know how the caves are, right? So he said the human being, regular human being, they're sitting in a cave. So this is a cave. This portion is open and there's a sun and sunlight outside. The human beings are sitting here and looking at the wall where the light of sun is projected. Between the sun and the cave, there are so many things. Plants, rocks, animals, and they're moving and they're doing their stuff. These people who are looking at the wall are looking at what? The shadows of these things. These plants and animals and stones. And they believe that these shadows are the real existences. So with this analogy, he said, insan is like this. When I come to this earth and I see myself and you and this and the mic, I think that they really exist. But in reality, again talking about reality, they are just the shadows of only one reality. And that is what? The necessary being, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Please recite salawat. Now, if I see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala like this, that even, and these people when they're sitting here, they're seeing their own shadow as well, right? So even when they're seeing themselves, they're seeing their shadow and they think that we exist, although they exist only because of the light behind them. So this is the relationship between a necessary being and a mumkin al-wujud, probable being. So what I'm trying to say here is this, that brothers and sisters, me as a human being is nothing but the shadow of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is that shirk? How is it shirk? What did Allah say in the Quran? He made Adam with the clay. What did he do after that? He put his ruh in it. That's not shirk. He put his essence in it. Now do we know that what status do we have? We have the ruh of Allah. Ruh Allah was not only Imam Khomeini and Hazrat Isa. No, we call it Hazrat Isa Ruhullah, right? Because he used to make people, alive again. Not only he was Ruhullah, he demonstrated Ruhullah, the Ruhiyat of Allah in this world, because he was attached to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These mu'jizat, these miracles we think that only prophets can do, regular people can do that as well, brothers and sisters. If me and you get attached to Allah, we will be able to treat the diseases. So we don't need doctors, right? No, I'm not saying that. We have people like this who can treat people, although they don't do things all the time, right? Because they are given this power in some capacity. Now, do we know that where we stand? And then when we see that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the leader of all the prophets, so I stand like a Ruhullah. Above me are the prophets. Above that are Aimma. Above that is Rasulullah. So if I go to Rasulullah and I say, please show me a mu'jiza, so I'll believe in you, that's na'uzubillah, in my opinion, is a disrespect to him. You think he cannot do the mu'jiza? No, of course. The people who are calling him Imam, the people who said that I am one of the slaves of this, I'm one of the slaves of Rasulullah. Who said that? Imam Ali. Or what's the status of Imam Ali? At his deathbed, after in like almost close to 21st of Ramadan, one Sahabi, I think it was Sasa ibn Sohan, he came and he asked him questions. And he asked one by one all the prophets, is Ibrahim greater than you? I don't know the whole answer, but the answer was this. I mean, with the explanation, Imam gave the answer. Yes. Was the Nuh, is Nuh great? Was greater? Are you greater than Nuh? He said yes. Are you greater than Ibrahim? He said yes. Are you greater than Musa? He said yes. Are you greater than Hazrat Isa? He said yes. These are the Imams we believe in, brothers and sisters. And then Sasa ibn Sohan, mashallah, he's a good student of Imam. He said, are you greater than Rasulullah? Then he said this, that I'm one of the, Ana abid min ibadih, Ana ab min ibadih Rasul. And one of the slaves of Rasulullah. Allahumma salli. These things produce a fire in our, in Iman and everything, but these things are not stories, brothers and sisters, especially my younger brothers. I have no time to explain the whole thing here, right? I mean, you need probably years to understand this. At least a class, at least a seminar about this. What Asmat is, where Imam is standing, and where Rasulullah is standing. I just gave you a glimpse that we need to know ourselves, that we are so attached and tightly knit with the wujud of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we can demonstrate what Allah ta'ala can demonstrate. We can give shifa, we can do takhliq, we can do khalq. On the materialistic level, we do that, right? We do that. We make things, even our children are from us. And with our ikhtiyar, to some extent. So, khallaqiyat is not only just because Allah Ta'ala has given me one ability to do that thing. It's because I'm attached to Him. We'll say, Maulana, those people who we were talking about, the atheists, those people who don't believe in Allah and they are not attached to Allah, they do the khalaqiyat as well. Yeah. In physical realm, and then inshallah there will be the discussion of physical realm and spiritual realm tomorrow. I hope it wouldn't be dry. Please say salawat. Maybe that will be better because we could relate that. With these things there, because the terms are different and the concepts are different, we are not able to relate with. But with the spiritual realm and the physical realm, we can relate with. So in this, please recite another salawat. In the physical realm, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given everybody, like He is a vicegerent, everybody in his capacity is a vicegerent Khalifa of Allah, even a kafir. Even a kafir can make things. With his own hands, he make a statue and call him Khuda and God, right? Allah ta'ala has given in physical realm. I'm talking about the spiritual realm. If you are a khaliq in a spiritual realm, if you have this ability to change things or change taqween, that's only for awliya. That's only for those who are connected to Allah. Please recite the salawat. Now we'll just get one ayah, and that's a really great ayah with a lot of questions for my youngsters, and inshallah we can try to answer and discuss about it. Not answer, but discuss about it. So this is the ayah of Surah Nur, ayah number 35. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. الله نور السماوات والأرض. مثل نوره كمشكاة فيها مصباح. المصباح في زجاجة. الزجاجة كأنها كوكب دري يوقد من شجرة مباركة زيتونة لا شرقية لا غربية ولا غربية يكاد زيتها يضيء ولو لم تمسسه نار نور على نور يهدي الله لنوره من يشاء ويضرب الله الأمثال للناس والله بكل شيء عليم. How many brothers understood any of it? MashaAllah, you're excluded. You learn Arabic, MashaAllah. You're almost Hazavi. Who understood it? What's that about? Bismillah.
It's about describing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He is like the chemistry unit, and it's in a container, it's in olive oil,
Ahsan.
and the light will flare after their own light.
Ahsan, MashaAllah. Please recite salawat. MashaAllah. That's why we need to learn Arabic and read Quran in Arabic. Well, it doesn't mean that you cannot read translation, but mashallah, the way brother explained it is really good. But if you go word by word, what is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is trying, not trying to, in our sense, trying to tell us here? He is comparing himself with what? Like brother said, to a nur. When you see the tafsir, this zahir of ayah is like this, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that I am a nur, sitting in a container and everything. In Al-Mizan, Allama Tabatabai said, this is how a mu'min perceive Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now our perception and the tafsir and the perception of this ayah changed a lot, right? It's not Allah Ta'ala is introducing himself as Nur. It is how I am seeing, if I'm a mu'min, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Go word by word. Allahu nuru samawati wal ard. Allah, everybody knows it, right? That much Arabic everybody knows. Allah is the nur of samawat, the light of the skies and the heaven and the earth. Mathalu nurihi ke mishkat. The light which is in mishkat. What is mishkat? Mishkat, in old days, if you saw the videos or documentaries or movies, they used to have a small place where they used to place charagh or lamp, right? In the wall. That is mishkat. In English, the translation is a niche, right? And you have a niche of somewhere. And usually when you make a masjid, you make a niche, because that's mustahab too. When you're in a niche, you think that you're a niche of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? We call mihrab in Urdu, right? So that's kind of a mihrab. And in this mihrab is sitting a misbah, a lamp. And that lamp is in zujaja. What zujaja? Is a glass. كأنها كوكب دري, like a shining star. The kawkab is, kawakib are different stars. I don't know the astronomy, if any astronomer here can help me out. The few stars which are brightest and actually used to find ways in desert and different places. يوقد من شجرة مباركة زيتونة, which is lit by like brother said, the oil of zaytun. لا شرقية ولا غربية. This zaytun, this oil is not from sharq or from gharb. يكاد زيتها يضيء ولو لم تمسسه نار. This lamp lights itself by itself within. It has the ability within to light itself. It doesn't need an external source to fire, or external fire to light it up. What are we talking about, brothers and sisters? What is this mishkat? What is this zujaja? Mishkat is the heart of mu'min. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lives in the heart of mu'min as a lamp, which is not lit by any external source. Which source lit this lamp inside the heart? This moment. This connection of this moment to this light comes within. That's why when we say that if you know yourself, you know your Rabb. Because if I know this ability that I can lit this lamp within me, I'll be connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Please recite salawat. Beautiful ayat, beautiful ayat. La sharqiyya wa la gharbiya. The oil, the fuel, is not from gharb or sharq. My brothers are sitting here, they got something, your mind went somewhere else, right? There was one moment who said, La sharqiyya wa la gharbiya, and he lit the light, and alhamdulillah, this light is still lit, of Tawheed and Wilayat in Islamic Republic. Allahu Akbar. Ya Ali. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Ruhullah al-Khumaini, Imam al-Khumaini, a person, a moment who lit this light within himself, and he came out saying, La sharqiyya wa la gharbiya. I don't need capitalism. I don't need communism. I don't need your support or your support. I'm going to stand on my own, fight, a war without any weapons and win it. And war after wars, battles after battles. Shouldn't we be proud of this? Can we see the Karbala is alive again? Can we see the 70 people are standing? They're joking and laughing on those 20,000, 40,000, 20 million. That you cannot do anything of us. Because we are connected to Imam Hussain. Because we are connected to this light. So brother and sister, La sharqiyya wa la gharbiya doesn't come like this. I can say it. I probably don't have the light. I will be just, repeating what a mu'min said. Nurun ala nur yahdi Allah li nurihi man yasha. Now, another thing. This nur ala nur, one explanation is this, that this is so intense and so great that you cannot even confine it. The feeling a moment has for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the energy one moment gets from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cannot be explained by anyone or any way. It can be only felt, can only be practiced. It can only be perceived as ilm huduri. Remember we were talking about this? It's your own individual ilm. It will be own individual light, fire, which will burn inside you of ishq ilahi. And there's a little bit problem here, and a lot of people who don't know Arabic or don't know Quran or not muttasil with Quran has problem with ayat like this. Yahdi Allahu li nurihi man yasha. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides anyone he wants towards his nur. So na'udhu billah, are we talking about a king who say, okay, you can go, you cannot go. You can go, you cannot go. No. Man yasha, like whomever he wants, is a system. It's a system for me and you. I go there, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to lit this light within me, in my heart, and inshallah, He's going to do it. It has the prerequisites, of course. I have to clean myself. And again, why? Because it's not like this, that Allah Ta'ala doesn't want to give it to me and you. This Noor-e Hidayat, this Noor-e Tawheed, this Noor-e Khuda cannot be placed in a place which is najis. If I have love and hatred and fear of non-God creatures, they're creatures, right? Who told us that they're like God, they can take our life, they can do whatever they want to do with us? If I have this najasa within me, I cannot get that light. I cannot get that lamp. I have to clean it a little bit. That's what Imam Hussain did. For you and me, every Ashura, every Karbala, every time you go to Karbala, every Ashura, every Shab-e Ashur is new, brothers and sisters. The ulama say whenever you read Quran, whenever you read an ayah, maybe you have read it 5,000 times, the 5,001 first time you are reading it is a new ayat for you. It will have a new effect on you. Karbala every year has a new effect on us. It has to have a new effect on us. Otherwise, it's nothing but laqlaqai zaban. Unless it is nothing but a taste for my tongue. Right? Inshallah, it's not like this here. Please recite salawat. So with this great ayah, brothers and sisters, we know what Nurullah is. Although Nurullah, if I said in my speech that it is Allah by Himself, no, it's not like. It's a hidayah towards Him. Because Zat Allah, Zat Khuda is, ulama said, you cannot reach to it, the whole Zat. You will say, okay, Maulana, why are we sitting here if you don't reach that? No. You can recognize Him, you can get attached to Him, but you cannot encompass the whole Zat of Allah. That's what I meant. I'll give you an example. My brain has a capacity, right? I have this glass, it has a capacity. I fill it with, I don't know, how many milliliters. You guys don't do milliliters, that's ounces. How many ounces? I believe it's like 15.7. 15.7? MashaAllah. It's so great. Please recite salawat. I don't know, 6 ounces, 7 ounces, something like this. After 7 ounces, it'll be gone. Water will be coming out. I ask you to put the swimming pool water in it, the whole swimming pool water in this glass. Is it possible? No. I'll say, okay, 1 river's water in this. No. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is more than rivers and more than seas, and more than oceans, and more than universe, and more than whatever the John Webb can capture for us. Right? How can I get it in my brain? Meaning, encompassing His whole Zat. That's not possible. So how do I understand Allah? Through my Zat. I elevate myself, I open new doors of marfatullah for myself. I go, well, I won't, but an insan can go to a place where Jibreel cannot go. That's what Miraj is, right? He said, no, I cannot go from this part. What is Miraj? It's ascension, right? It's like ascending something. Someone is ascending from lower place to upper place. That's why namaz is Miraj. You are ascended in namaz. We are ascended in namaz. We are talking to our own, the only love, the only goal, the only wujud, the only essence of this universe. As much as I talk, as much as I get closer to this essence, this primary wujud, wajibul wujud, my wujud increases. So many mabahith, are attached with it, but inshallah I'm not gonna go there. Please recite salawat. So just park it here, brothers and sisters, and think about this. This is what our worth is. That's why Imam Ali said that the least currency, the least thing you can sell yourself for is Jannah. That's the least thing you can do it. If you are not selling yourself for Jannah, well, then you are, again, all those discussions of animals and bipedal, mammals, primates, right? That's the definition of insan. The modern science is forging it for us. That human, what? Bipedal, primate, mammal. That's what I saw it in a dictionary or something. No, we are not animals, brothers and sisters. We are the saya, shadow of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The people at the time of Imam Hussein, they forgot about that. The ulama, they were not talking about that. Amir Sham is there, he is doing wrong left and right, they cannot say anything. Till the time comes that a person who even Bani Umayyah hated, even his own family members hated him, became the Khalifatul Rasulullah, sitting on the mimbar of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Why? Because those ulama, Imam Hussein's problem was with Yazid, with Ibn Ziyad, yes, but more problem was with these ulama, these people who are selling themselves in the ita'ah of Yazid. Yazid was nothing but a mouthpiece of shaitan. The shaitan keep changing his mouthpiece in every time and every place. We have shayateen in this world. We have the mouthpieces of shayateen in this world. What are we doing? The biggest, right now I'm saying, just not to make you get more worried, this intellectual shaitan, this noise of intellectualism, where you cannot hear the voice of reason. It's all noise. This ism, that ism, feminism, give me other isms, otherwise I will get in trouble. Pluralism, socialism, all isms. These are all noises, brothers. Activism, that was one more thing. Our youth sometimes become like indulgent in these things. Activism, for what? Activism, I have to be active. I drank more coffee, so I have to be active. Oh. Are you going somewhere? We have any hadaf? After that, we have activism, brothers and sisters. We need to teach our children like this. Alhamdulillah, they are responding to me right now, but who are a little bit older, have to go and tell them. You're worth a lot. The vicegerent of Allah, the Khalifatullah, is not an easy title. Imam Hussein, through Karbala, brought people to that mindset. Not only those who were following Imam, but for you and me as well, after 1400 years. Have no doubt about this, that we are sitting here and we are talking about these intricate, important things in our life to change two distinctive paths, one going to hell, one going to shaitan, one going to Allah and heaven, is just because of Karbala. It's just because of Karbala. Otherwise, we'd be lost in this noise. Karbala, Karbala. Karbala, Karbala. Karbala, Karbala. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala MashaAllah, MashaAllah. These are just not mere claims, brothers and sisters. These are not mere slogans. These are haqiqat, like we were talking about the reality. These are the haqiqat. How did this, again, they just stuck in my mind and I want them to keep sticking to my mind. Zuhair ibn Qayn. How? How he became like this within seconds. How Hilal bin Nafi was like this. How Hur ibn Yazid al-Riyahi was like this. What did Imam Hussein do to them? He can do the same thing to us. Inshallah, we'll talk about on Shab-e Ashur. On Shab-e Ashur, it was like Eid for these people, the regular people. Some of them were against Imam, some of them were Christians. They were laughing and enjoying Shab-e Ashur. Please don't say it to other people, they say, well, what you're saying. They were enjoying, why? They found the reality. They found where we are, where we're going. In simple words, they found the Jannah. They saw the Jannah by their own eyes. They had Aynul Yaqeen. You think that Imam Hussein can do it at that time, can I do it right now? You have riwayat, we have this, idhne ijaza, idhne dakhul. In the haram, in all the imam, the words of those that idhne dakhul, that I know that you listen to my salam. I know that you return my salam. But the only problem is this, that we don't listen to it. We don't listen when we say Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. We don't listen. We don't hear wa alaykum assalam. Inshallah, with these majalis, with this taking the name of Imam Hussain, we'll be on that position to hear from Abu Abdullah that he's saying wa alaykum assalam. With this salam, there was another salam which pierces an arrow in somebody's heart who has a heart. And that salam was the salam of Ali Akbar. It is so strange that in Maqatil, what I've heard is this, that any Shaheed, when he was falling, he was asking Imam Hussein to come and help. You know what Ali Akbar did? He said, "Oh my father, salam unto you. I can see my grandfather and he's telling me to tell you to come towards him quickly." Ali Akbar Hussain was the first son of Hazrat Imam Hussain. That's why his name was Akbar. And if we do the research, it could be possible, and I have heard from one alim, I didn't do my own research, that he was, people probably thinking was the next imam, because usually that's what happens. The first son of the imam would become the imam. Or probably, again, in the bid'ah, it was like this. Again, I'm not going into details of that. Just trying to show the status of Ali Akbar. The people were thinking that he would be the imam after Imam Hussain. That's why when the Rawi says that when he was going away from his family, especially the women, especially Zainab Uliya, she was not letting him go. They said the curtain of the tent was lifted many times and then it was drawn back. Because they were not letting Ali Akbar go and get killed. But when Ali Akbar asked Imam Hussain, when we're talking about Hazrat Qasim, how much he asked Imam Hussain to go and fight for him, when Ali Akbar asked, the first time Imam said, yes, go. Ali Akbar, go there. You look like Rasulullah. I love you more than anything in this world, but you should be the first one to go and get Shaheed. This is what Karbala is. when Zainab is preparing her sons to go and get sacrificed for Imam Hussein, Rabab is preparing her son to go and get sacrificed. Imam Hussein, the most dear son to him, was sending with his first request, sending him in the Maidan to get killed. And the shahadat of Ali Akbar is really, really heartbreaking, brothers and sisters. Ali Akbar fought like a great Bani Hashim warrior. He killed, I have the number of the people he killed. I don't know if you will believe me, but I just read it. He killed almost 200 people. You can imagine when he's fighting with 20,000 people, how many arrows would have came to him. How much blood he must have lost while he was thirsty. Ali Akbar comes back to Imam Hussein and says, "Yo, Imam, I want some water." Do you imagine that Ali Akbar, who looks like Rasulullah, whose seerah is like Rasulullah, would be asking water for Imam Hussein? My heart says he wanted water so he can fight more. He can throw these enemies away from his Baba and his Imam as much as he can. But then, this is the musibah of Imam. Your dear son, whom you can give anything, is coming to you when you have nothing, not even a glass of water. What would you do? Imam hugged Ali Akbar and said, "Oh Ali Akbar, go back, fight, and inshallah your grandfather is gonna give you the Kawthar, the water of Kawthar." Ali Akbar went there, but I don't know how much blood he has lost. He fought and fought and fought till they said one arrow, and sometimes they say one spear came and pierced the chest of Ali Akbar. Ali Akbar fell down on his horse. They said the horse didn't know where to go. Instead of going towards the Khayyam, the horse went towards the Yazidis. And when they saw Ali Akbar is not able to fight with them, and he is lean over the horse, anybody has anything like a dagger, like a sword, like a spear, like an arrow, they started piercing it. They started killing. They started cutting the body of Ali Akbar. They said the Ali Akbar's body was torn into pieces. When Bibi saw that, when Ali Akbar came down and said salam to Imam Hussein, the Maqatil says, they say that the one Bibi came out from the Khayyam and she lay down on the body. You know why did she lay down on the body? So Hussein wouldn't see the body of Ali Akbar. I would say, "Oh Zainab, this is the body of Ali Akbar, which is torn into pieces. But in few minutes, you will see a body which is trampled under the hoofs of horses." Hussein.
Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein. Mera sehre wala akbar, mera sehre wala akbar, mera sehre wala akbar, मेरा सहरे वाला अकबर, ज़ख्म दिल के दिखाऊं मैं कैसे, ज़ख्म दिल के दिखाऊं मैं कैसे, तेरा लाशा उठाऊं मैं कैसे अकबर, मेरा सहरे वाला अकबर, अकबर, मेरा सहरे वाला अकबर, अकबर, میرا سحر والا اکبر. لاش اکبر پہ شاہ جب پہنچے دل کو ہاتھوں سے تھام کر بولے تیری فرقت نے اے علی اکبر آگ دل میں میرے لگا دی ہے. آگ دل کی بجھاؤں میں کیسے, آگ دل کی بجھاؤں میں کیسے, تیرا لاشا اٹھاؤں میں کیسے اکبر. میرا سحر والا اکبر اکبر, میرا سحر والا اکبر. تو ہے کڑیل جوان بیٹا باپ تیرا ضعیف ہے کتنا, نور آنکھوں کا ہو گیا رخصت مجھ کو آتا نہیں نظر خیمہ لے کے خیموں میں جاؤں میں کیسے, لے کے خیموں میں جاؤں میں کیسے, تیرا لاشا اٹھاؤں میں کیسے اکبر. میرا سحر والا اکبر اکبر, میرا سحر والا اکبر. جس نے 18 سال پالا تھا کیسے دیکھے گی وہ تیرا لاشا, تیری شادی کا تھا جسے ارماں کیسے جھیلے گی وہ تیرا صدمہ. تیری ماں کو بتاؤں میں کیسے, تیری ماں کو بتاؤں میں کیسے, تیرا لاشا اٹھاؤں میں کیسے اکبر. میرا سحر والا اکبر اکبر, میرا سحر والا اکبر. دیکھ آیا ہے قاصد صغرا راہ تکتی ہے وہ دکھی بہنا, تجھ کو بیمار نے بلایا ہے وعدہ صغرا کیا کیوں بلا ڈالا. غم یہ دل سے لگاؤں میں کیسے, غم یہ دل سے لگاؤں میں کیسے, تیرا لاشا اٹھاؤں میں کیسے اکبر. میرا سحر والا اکبر اکبر, میرا سحر والا اکبر. بھائی بہنوں کا ہے عجب رشتہ جس کا ثانی کہیں نہیں ملتا, رو کے صغرا نے یہ لکھا اکبر ایک دکھیا کی لاج رکھ لینا. مر گیا تو بتاؤں میں کیسے, مر گیا تو بتاؤں میں کیسے, تیرا لاشا اٹھاؤں میں کیسے اکبر. میرا سحر والا اکبر اکبر, میرا سحر والا اکبر اکبر, میرا سحر والا اکبر. یا حسین.
کہتی تھی یہ ماں خون بھری مائے یاد سے لپٹ کر, ہائے ہائے علی اکبر, ہائے ہائے علی اکبر. ارمان تھا پہناؤں گی پوشاک شاہانی, ارمان تھا پہناؤں گی پوشاک شاہانی. افسوس کہ راس آئی نہ تجھ کو یہ جوانی, کیسا تھا مقدر, ہائے ہائے علی اکبر, ہائے ہائے علی اکبر. اتنا تو ذرا ٹھہرو تمہیں दूल्हा बना लूं इतना तो जरा ठहरो तुम्हें दूल्हा बना लूं बस एक झलक सहर की सुगरा को दिखा लूं बेचैन थी ख्वाहर हाय हाय अली अकबर हाय हाय अली अकबर 18 बरस पाल के परवान चढ़ाया 18 बरस पाल के परवान चढ़ाया वो गैस वाला है मेरा खून में नहाया ये क्या हुआ दिल भर हाय हाय अली अकबर हाय हाय अली अकबर माँ तेरी जुदाई में भला कैसे जिएगी माँ तेरी जुदाई में भला कैसे जिएगी मर जाएगी सुगरा जो खबर तेरी सुनेगी अब क्या करूँ जी कर हाय हाय अली अकबर हाय हाय अली अकबर ठहरो के मैं 18वीं मन न तो बढ़ा लूं ठहरो के मैं 18वीं मन न तो बढ़ा लूं फिर लेके बलाए तुझे जीने की दुआ दूं सदके हो ये मादर हाय हाय अली अकबर हाय हाय अली अकबर पहले तो एक आवाज पे उठ जाते थे बेटा पहले तो एक आवाज पे उठ जाते थे बेटा अब इतनी सदाओं पे भी पहलू नहीं बदला क्या हो गया दिल पर हाय हाय अली अकबर हाय हाय अली अकबर तुम हिचकिया लेके जो दम तोड़ रहे हो तुम हिचकिया लेके जो दम तोड़ रहे हो मुमा से हमेशा के लिए मोड़ रहे हो क्यों रूठे हो दिल पर हाय हाय अली अकबर हाय हाय अली अकबर आए जो हमें लूटने खैमे में सितमगर आए जो हमें लूटने खैमे में सितमगर माँ देगी सदाए अली अकबर अली अकबर छिन जाएगी चादर हाय हाय अली अकबर हाय हाय अली अकबर जब कोई जवालाश नजर आती है महशर जब कोई जवालाश नजर आती है महशर एक याद सुए कर वो बला जाती है महशर दिल रोता है कह कर हाय हाय अली अकबर हाय हाय अली अकबर कहते थी ये माँ खूब भरी मैया से लिपट कर हाय हाय अली अकबर हाय हाय अली अकबर
Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So we'll begin the Q&A session. I know there's questions I got in the text as well as I think there's some questions here. Malana, you want to sit here? Okay. Hmm? I know that. I think they're upstairs.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. For this, you can bring the chai or whatever you guys want. Bismillah.